Go.
It's live?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, Ink Mag? How we doing?
I don't think there's anybody here yet.
Nah, it'll kick on.
There we go, we're building an audience apparently.
Oh, you're live.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, it's
Cool.
How's it look on the phone?
live. Oh, yeah, cool.
We'll give it a few minutes to accumulate some viewers and then it looks okay?
Yeah.
Which is good, but you can't see Brian.
Yeah, well maybe
You get more viewers.
yeah, we'll give it a few minutes to like accumulate some.
There's like 300 people watching right now.
Cool. Okay, what's up guys? Brian Geckle, this is Paul Talbot. We're at Modern Electric in Birmingham, UK. And he's being a beast right now while I stab his neck. It's been a long day. We're like 5 hours ahead of New York, so you guys are just getting up and around. We're almost done. If anyone has any questions, feel free to chime in.
They all say ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul's being a badass today, so he gets some credit. Street cred. Everyone just says ouch. Yeah, where's everybody from that's watching right now? Let us know. Be curious to see.
How's the pain?
No problem at all.
Easy, easy. Yeah, I forget there's a little bit of a lag on it too. So yeah, thanks to Yalzi for once again giving us his admin so we can jump on here and give you guys some live content. It's always cool. I think Yalzi's in like Japan right now or something. So I don't even know what the hell time it is there. I think it's even more. I think it's even earlier there. So,
That's the other side of
or
the clock.
it's later. Yeah, it's later. So it's like probably like fucking midnight or something. Hey, I can't swear.
Sorry.
Freaking.
Yeah, Vanessa's in the UK. Someone is asking, how long does a piece like that take from start to finish?
How long does it take from start to finish for something like this? I think we started at maybe like noon, maybe 12:30, and
So it's now about 5:30, so it's like
yeah,
4 or 5 hours so far.
Yeah, with breaks and everything, maybe 4 or 5 hours so far. It'll probably be, we'll probably call it 5 by the time we're done.
Yeah, I'm a smoker. Sorry, so we've had a few, cigarette breaks. Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for you.
Everybody's surprised how good you can handle the pain.
Yeah, this is not an easy spot to get tattooed in. So Paul's doing really well. And also I have an extremely light touch, which...
It has the hands of an angel.
Yeah. Which Badil will contest, but that's fine. So yeah, this piece is pretty much totally just dot work. We've used a few different values, like of different grays. It's all pretty much a similar saturation of dot. So really, you can create value 2 different ways with dot work. You can use different values of gray, or you can use a different density of dot work. or a mixture of both, which is something I like to do sometimes too.
Someone is asking, is that going to be a part of a bigger chess piece, or is that going to be it?
Is it going to be bigger? A part of a bigger piece?
Yeah, it's part of a bigger piece.
Yeah, he's gonna have pretty much his whole chest tattooed eventually, and this is kind of, I guess, just the centerpiece. I think it just works out because I'm here right now.
Yeah, that's why the centerpiece get it done first. You got to the studio first.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of the tattoo?
Yeah. Oh, okay. What's the meaning? We were actually just talking about this. Yeah, this kind of really doesn't have any real meaning. I mean, you could tie a meaning to it, but the beauty of these design-based images is that it doesn't have to have some kind of heavy, crazy meaning. It can just be something that looks nice and you enjoy seeing. And in all reality, that's meaning enough. You know, the TV shows have been great to kind of like bring any sort of like normal culture into the world of tattooing, but something else it's done is it's created the idea that it has to have some grandiose meaning, and it has to be connected to your dead uncle that, you know, loved to go fishing and things like this. It doesn't have to have anything to do with that stuff. You can just get a tattoo because it looks cool. You know, I always say, you know, does every picture you hang on your wall in your house have some grand meaning, or do you just like how it looks?
How many other tattoos do you have, Paul?
My right arm is complete. Both of my legs, both legs are complete. But nothing on my torso, because I was always a little scared. Now I know why.
Other than the sweet tattoos that your kids did.
That's the only other tattoo on my torso is something that my kids did for me. Where am I pointing? I'm probably pointing to the wrong part of my body. No. I can't see.
No, that's it. You got it.
Yeah.
What type of tattoo gun is that?
First of all, it's a machine, not a gun. Guns kill people.
The Injector AK-47.
Yes, the Injector AK-47, yeah. That's perfect. That's fucking awesome.
That looks really funny though.
That's amazing. So yeah, this is the Injector Flight Nano, which I think is the newest model of the Injector series. And actually I bought this off of a good friend of mine, and you know, after swapping notes with him for probably a good hour on the phone, talking about the different torsion bars and what's best to use for what. And right now we're using the solid bar, and you know, I've been so used to using direct drive machines for so long that the solid bar just feels most comfortable.
Where is the shop at?
The shop is Modern Electric. Maybe do we have these papers with all the info on them?
Papers.
Yeah. So we wrote down our information. We can't keep it in the camera shot, but you can at least take a look. You can follow us on the various social media outlets. Almost the whole big whack of them.
Just say when.
Yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of a lag, so it'll take a minute. So this is our information. If you want to find us on whatever social media you choose to use, there we are.
Is that it? One more?
Yeah, that's all of it.
That's really hard when you're getting a throat tattoo to do that.
That probably wasn't long enough for everyone to see, to be honest.
Okay.
What's your recommended aftercare wrap cover, and what soap or cream do you use?
As far as aftercare goes, there's a bunch of different ones that everyone seems to use, and I think since everybody's skin type is so different, I think that you have to just find what works best for you and then use that. Because some people are allergic to certain ingredients of some aftercare products, and then some people aren't. Some people have sensitive skin to certain things, so it kind of really just, it varies on like who you are as a person and what your skin type is, really. How you doing, buddy?
I'm alright, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's probably going to get a little bit worse progressively here for a few minutes.
Someone just asked if you were Luke Harper in WWE.
Well, me.
Me.
Yeah.
Yep. This is Luke Harper.
Yeah, this dude.
A lot of people watching usually say some pretty funny stuff.
Oh god.
I'll take that compliment.
See, where's
He's a very attractive man.
Yeah, is he? Did we ever get where everybody's from? Let us know where you guys are at, man. Where are you watching from in the world? We want to know.
What state or country is this in?
So we're in the UK right now. We're in, well, I guess we're near Birmingham.
Near Birmingham, England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Home of lots on it.
What are we the home of here?
Someone calls you Luke. Luke, how many years have you doing this job?
Who, me?
Luke, he meant you, yeah.
Luke? I'm not Luke. I've been tattooing for almost 14 years now, which makes me feel really old, even though I'm not. I'm fucking old. Yeah, I started when I was 18, back before every single person ever wanted to be a tattooer. Just got a good opportunity at a shop, and the rest is history, man. Here we are. Back down here for a minute. Give that a rest.
It's okay, it's not too bad, man, if you want to carry on. It's not bad.
Well, I'm using different values too, so I don't want to lose like the set of pattern that I'm doing for the value that I'm using. So yeah, with stuff like this, you kind of start in the center and you work your way out. Especially if you're using different values of gray. If you try to just like start from a corner and work your way across and make it all make sense, you're gonna go crazy. So for me, it's best to just kind of like commit the entire stencil and then work from the center out.
Someone asks us, like, why do you have the headlamp?
Why do I have the headlamp? Well, the idea, I guess, spawned from my lovely girlfriend who uses it for conventions and sends me embarrassing photos of her wearing it. But the headlamp's great because I can see exactly what I'm working on. and I don't have to worry about some big bright light shining over everybody, and then I don't have to worry about making sure that I'm not working in my own shadow. So it kind of looks ridiculous, I know, but it's actually kind of awesome. And especially if you travel a lot, you can fit it right inside your kit, you know, rather than trying to find a way to bring a lamp along with you. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You can't do that, you know, so.
Do you ever find yourself leaving it on, forgetting and blinding some guy at a urinal?
I usually don't forget to leave it on because it's kind of annoying to wear it.
You always do.
I always forget.
Yeah.
I always forget about it.
Or you got the toilet with it.
Yeah. So much.
Then you just look awesome going to the toilet, I guess. I don't know, yeah. Maybe that's the next step, is finding a way to make it like fashionable. Make a cool looking headlamp that like, I've seen like the glasses before where it's like, it's your regular glasses but they have like little lights, like headlights on them. That looks ridiculous too, but so yeah, this is probably the least.
Didn't Orbital used to use those live? They had the glasses with the lights either side. I can't remember. I'm pretty certain I saw Orbital back in the day.
I don't even know.
And they had the glasses with the lights on there.
Yeah, they did.
Looking crazy. So yeah, until they come up with a better way, you know, maybe they'll have like a backpack thing with some kind of arm extension that comes up over behind your head. There's no good way to do it. There's no good way to bring a good light source into the tattoo room.
There's someone who asks you, how do you handle the pain?
Just go with it. You know, it's a tattoo. You know, they hurt. You know, just accept that at the beginning. Know that this is a process I want to go through. I really want to get a piece of art from Brian. This is the only way to get it. You know, he can't tattoo me without using needles. It's just part of the process. You just got to live with it. You know, nobody ever died from getting a tattoo, so you just live with it. It's just a needle. It's only going in your body like 1.5 millimeters or something. So it's fine. Don't panic. Breathe your way through it and just be calm.
Yeah, breathing is always the way I seem to get through any kind of really rough stuff. Nice deep breaths.
If someone asks you again about like what's the best way to take care of your tattoos?
Okay, so we keep getting questions on how to take care of the tattoos.
Any ointment?
This is a tough question because everybody's a little bit different. Everybody's skin type is different. Everybody's allergies are a little bit different. And the exposure to like outside elements after the tattoo is done is a little bit different too. Like for example, if you have dogs, you have to be very, very careful the first like day or so because dog dander will just like mess up a tattoo's healing process.
I got 2 dogs.
Yeah.
I'll be super careful.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah. I definitely subscribe to keeping it covered the first 24 hours with like a plastic wrap with a little bit of ointment under it. You sometimes hear that that's not good, and I mean really I'm not sure what the one true answer is, but that seems to be the way that the tattooing that I do heals best on my clients. It's low maintenance for the client right after they're done getting the tattoo, which is nice because they're usually in a lot of pain and a little disoriented from the whole experience. So the last thing they want to have to worry about is dealing with the tattoo for the first couple of hours after they get it. Some people use a plastic wrap that stays on the tattoo for the duration of the healing. I've tried this method too. It doesn't seem to work the best for me. But I've heard some people that they swear by it, that's all they'll ever use, and they have great healing results too. So I think it's just really a matter of finding out what works best for each person.
I'm presuming we can't say brand names. Is that one of the problems?
I mean, we can say brand names. Yeah, I usually use Hustle Butter during my application process, and that's usually what I give to people for their aftercare. It has some fruit oils in it that some people are allergic to sometimes. So that's kind of why some people don't get down with that, and that's fine. I don't have any allergies myself to that kind of stuff, and I love it, which is why I suggest people use it. But if you do have allergies, you guys keep what H2 Ocean's aftercare.
That's the one that's my preferred aftercare range, because they have various creams for various skin types that we find. So if you've got oily skin or dry skin, they've got something for you. So there's something in the range for most skin types. Like all aftercare, it's not going to suit 100% of people, because I think we just have to accept that there's always somebody that's going to have a problem with something. I also like the plastic wrap in conjunction with that. You know, the sticky film Dermalize Pro is one of them. There's a few on the market, but Dermalize is the one that I like to use.
Yeah.
And I recommend that the client leave that on for 12 hours and then take it off and then use the H2 Ocean product. And then I can, when I'm tattooing them, I can assess whether they've got dry or oily skin, so I can recommend either a foam or a cream. And that seems to be the cream that suits of all the creams that I've tried. It seems to be the one that suits the most people. You know what I mean? Of all of them, I think there are other creams, but they seem to suit a smaller percentage of people. So, as a shop, we want to give a kind of, the biggest percentage of people are going to get a good heal with it. So that's why I like it, and that's what I heal my own tattoos with. So I figure,
Yeah, you got to support it.
Yeah, but I think it's like what you were saying though. It's you have to listen to your own body, and if you've been given a cream and it really isn't working, then call the tattoo artist. And everybody's got a secondary cream that they can recommend. Or if you're having a problem with this one, use this one. I think most artists are pretty helpful in that way. So if you're having a problem with one cream, use try a different one. You'll find something that'll work for you.
Yeah.
But what you have to understand is that they're not guaranteed to work for every single human being on earth,
Yeah.
I think everybody's different. I think I tried about 4 different aftercare products until I found the one that was right for me.
Well, okay, so not only is the aftercare diverse, but also people's cleanliness personally is diverse. What they're exposed to is pretty diverse too. Like once you leave the shop, it's kind of in your own hands. Like we can't be there with you to babysit you in your new tattoo. As nice as that would be, it's not a realistic option for a lot of tattooers. So, pretty much once they leave, you can kind of just give them your subscribed method and hope that they follow it. I've seen so many times someone leaves and you can kind of tell they're not really paying attention to what you're saying. And you end up getting an email in a few days, saying, hey, this is kind of healing a little rough, maybe, I did right what you said, and then you ask them what they did, and they can't tell you because they weren't listening, so they don't want to, deliberately lie to you, just kind of lie to you. So, yeah, you really just have to try to stay as clean as you can. Wash it with an antibacterial soap. Don't go rolling around in the mud.
Someone asked if you can use cocoa butter, or would it mess up the color?
Would cocoa butter mess up the color of a tattoo? To be honest with you, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what the active ingredients in cocoa butter are. Usually, I feel like whenever you're just starting a heal for a tattoo, you want something that has some healing properties to it. And I've heard a lot of people say go to skin lotion right away, but skin lotion really doesn't have any healing properties for open skin, so I can't really understand why that would be a method of aftercare. Maybe after like 3 or 4 days, once that tattoo starts to kind of scab and peel a little bit, I can understand some skin lotion, but not right away. You don't ever cut yourself or give yourself a brush burn and then start putting skin lotion on it right away. No one would do that. That doesn't make sense. So I can't really understand that method. I've heard of people using like A&D ointment or like bacitracin or something like that too, which I think in a small enough amount is probably okay as well. But I think especially with new collectors, a major problem is that people tend to overdo it. You know, they're so like on top of things that it becomes like almost like they're obsessed with it, and they can't seem to let it go and just heal, let your body do its thing. I don't know, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I think cocoa butter, I'd probably say the same. Any of those skin lotions leave the tattoo until, you know, you get that kind of felt appearance on the skin over the top just before it dries out and starts flaking off. That's normally the point where I think a tattoo is sealed over, and after that point you can use a moisturiser.
Yeah, it's no longer
because
considered a wound.
Yeah, it's no longer a wound now. It's just so moisturiser is going to be pretty effective. Yeah, I mean, I've actually personally I've had good heals with A&D. I've used that in the past, and that was pretty good. But you have to use a really small amount. You know, if you've got the tattoo drained in it, then it's and it's if you're inexperienced healing tattoos, that's a really easy thing to do, because how much is too much and how much is too little. And so I always make sure at the end of each of my sessions that I demonstrate how much is too much and how much is too little on one of my heal tattoos.
Yeah.
So the customer can really see, you know, and I walk them through it, and we give them an aftercare sheet so that, because everybody's at the end of a painful session and they're not really engaged with somebody giving them a 15-step program.
Yeah.
So it's like, we'll take this sheet away with you and give me a call if you got a problem, you know, because we want everyone to have a nice heel as well as a nice tattoo. Because sometimes you can put all the work into the tattoo and get a bad heel, and then, you know, you destroy the work you put in. So we always make sure that people know they can just call and run through the aftercare again. It's no problem.
Yeah.
You should show the new current tattoo on there.
Yeah. So I'm not the only one that did some tattooing today, but Deal also did some tattooing, and yeah, she did a great job on Paul's wife's hand tattoo. They wanted to finish before we started any live streaming, but I think it's worthy of being shown on the page for sure. Super clean. It's all dots, all dot work, and it's just pretty awesome. So yeah, don't even try to pronounce her last name. It's insane. Unless you have a Dutch accent, you're probably not going to be able to swing it.
No, I'm not even going to try for that.
You can get halfway through. She put out.
Well, that's kind of close.
Is that close?
Schilperoord.
Hey?
Bodil Schilperoord.
Schilperoord.
Yeah.
It's close. It's better than Brian.
Yeah.
Look at the sheep.
Oh my god. It's funny.
Yeah, unless you can, give it that nice Dutch like feel.
It's all phlegm. It's all
Yeah,
phlegm.
you're not gonna get anywhere yet.
Are you doing dot work?
Are we doing dot work? Yes, we are doing dot work, indeed. The whole design is all dots. We were debating doing some shading, but I don't think that's going to happen today. I think that originally we were going to have a hard outline around this entire piece, and I think it's better this way anyways, because Paul's macro vision is to include other pieces into this, so this is kind of going to act as like almost like a centerpiece that blends into the background of like two chest panel pieces. So I think if we outline it, it's going to put it too much in a box, and it's going to be just, I think, a little bit too much to work with.
Oh, Nicholas wants to know, does it hurt over your albums after?
Yes, Nicholas, it does.
Yeah, a lot of people asking how it feels.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it hurts. It's a tattoo, you know, but it's not the end of the world. You know,
or is it?
Or is it? No, it's really not. You know, I mean, dot work is is not an incredibly painful style in any case. I mean, they all have their moments. It's a pretty difficult area, I think, to get a tattoo. Obviously, this is the first time and last time I'll be having this done. So yeah, for sure, it's something that you know, I think if you're sitting to get a tattoo, just like the artist has to mentally prepare to do it, so does the person sitting to get it. You do have to know that, you know, I'm going to be doing this for 6 hours. It's a process. It takes a while. Brian's very deliberate about what he does and very dedicated to making everything perfect, which is one of the reasons I wanted to get tattooed by him. But by the same token, I've got to be prepared to sit there and just allow that to happen. You know, that stuff doesn't happen it doesn't happen quickly. What were we saying earlier? There was that sign that you saw. You can have any one of these 3 things.
Yeah.
You can have it fast, cheap, or good.
You can have,
you can have any 2 of the 3.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want it good and fast, it won't be cheap.
Yeah.
If you want it cheap and fast, it won't be good.
That's it.
When people are asking, like, if you go into the sun when your tattoo is healed, what is the best way to take care of it?
What's the best way to take care of your tattoo?
Once it's healed?
Once it's healed and you go into the sun?
Factor 50. Sunblock.
Yeah, get some sunblock. That's definitely the best thing. Something I've noticed over the course of time is that somebody will get a fresh tattoo and they'll go out in the sun maybe a day or 2 later. They'll get some serious sun exposure on a fresh tattoo. And this is a great way to fuck up your new tattoo pretty much forever. You know, people assume it's like, oh, the tattoo's in there, it's good, I'm good, you know, and that's just not the case at all. You have to really stay out of the sun for, I'd say, probably at least until it's fully healed, which is, I mean, in all reality, I'd say a good 2 weeks. And what happens if you try to go in the sun before it's totally healed is the line work, or any black, and I've seen it with red too, it will raise up, and it'll just pretty much permanently stay raised up. Something about damaging the skin while it's got that new pigment in there trying to settle. It'll never settle. So yeah, if you're getting a new tattoo, don't plan a trip to the Bahamas 3 days later. You know, you're not gonna have a good time. But yeah, once it's healed, you know, just get some sunscreen and apply it, you know, before you're gonna spend a significant amount of time in the sun. I don't think you guys really have that problem here in England, right?
No.
Never used sunblock. Never seen the sun. You know, it just rains.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Enjoy your London trip.
Yeah, thanks, man.
See you later, mate.
Someone asking, is modern ink less resistant to fading?
Is modern ink less resistant to fading? I think so, yeah. There's been some pretty serious technological advances in all of the tattoo equipment across the board, and the pigment's no different. I have colors on me that are 13 years old, and they're still just as bright as ever. So I think, yeah, I think the advances are you know, pretty significant. You know, it's not like it's the 1950s and, you know, in 20 years everybody's tattoos are going to look like big blurry blobs. I think nowadays, and especially with the technology with the needles too, you're pretty much going to be able to enjoy your tattoo for a lifetime, or at least pretty close to it. You know, maybe some of the really warm colors in an area that gets a lot of sun exposure might fade a little bit over time, but you know, if you're a serious enough collector that you have tattoos in areas like that, you're probably not going to mind getting tattooed again. So that's just something you're going to kind of always deal with, I think, if you're an avid collector.
Justin Doe is asking, when are you coming back to the States? And he really wants you to come visit him.
Hi, buddy. How you doing, man? Oh, dude, I miss you. I hope you're doing well in Pittsburgh. We're going to come out and hang out for a weekend and we'll do some tattooing on your puny little arms. You fucker. That was the one with the English bulldog, Patty.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
my
him, yeah.
God. So cute.
Oh my god. Oh, I miss that dude.
It's that Misha, buddy.
That's great. Yeah, man. We're gonna work our way up here. This will be the last time I go up onto the neck, okay?
Okay, mate.
So brace yourself.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna get your neck tattooed, this is probably the way to go because I'd say it's like the least invasive tattoo style, really.
Someone is saying, come to New Orleans.
Come to New Orleans!
Is that what you're planning?
Do we have plans to go to New Orleans? I mean, eventually, yeah. We've been recently planning out a nice cross-country road trip. But, you know, we're in the midst of our travels pretty much right now. And, man, it's a little bit more exhausting than we had really anticipated. So I think we're going to stay put for a little while once we get back to the States. And then, you know, figure out a little bit of a travel schedule after that. Because I know I still enjoy traveling a lot, and I think you probably do too, a little bit, right? You don't hate it quite yet, video?
Okay.
So, yeah, New Orleans isn't out of the scope of possibility. So yeah, again, to anybody that's just now joining us, I'm Brian Geckle. This is Paul Talbot. We're at Modern Electric Tattoo in Birmingham, England, right?
Yeah.
Paul's been cool enough to host us here for the past week and pretty much treat us like fucking royalty.
What's that about the blue horse?
Steve Collier's loving the blue horse on your neck, Paul.
The what? I'm in there.
The blue horse.
Yeah.
I changed it up. I figured you wouldn't mind.
Still, man.
I think
Switch it up.
it's a running joke, isn't it? You get like towering blue horses on necks. So it's like, yeah.
So I had a conversation with somebody once where I said, my least favourite colour to tattoo is blue. This is a long time ago. My least favourite place to tattoo is the neck, and my least favourite animal is the horse. So of course, every time, dude, I can have a blue horse on my neck, and I know it's one of my clients, friends.
Well, ironically enough, that's what we're doing. Just let me know if I'm choking you too much. No. Not fun. I remember getting my throat tattooed.
You got some pretty serious work on your neck.
Yeah, I got many hours on my neck, man. I know right where you're at, dude. And I am not envious at all. Yep, I remember this. Actually, I just got my throat piece re-hit recently. And it was just as awful as I remembered the first time.
You was that the did your throat guy?
Yeah, guy did my throat, yeah. He's done a lot of time on me. In fact, if I were to think about it, I'd probably say we have, I don't even know, man, maybe like 80 or 100 hours just with Guy and I'd say.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of time, yeah. you're out there, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Michelle's healing fine. Kaya's not running too much of the muck. I know he's too busy to be watching something like this right now.
In case you don't know who we're talking about, that's Guy Aitchison, the man who literally wrote the book on tattoo. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You are watching things.
If you are watching, thank you so much.
Paved the way for pretty much everybody.
Someone is asking, how would you rate the next throat pain-wise?
How would I rate the throat pain-wise? On a scale of 1 to 10.
4.
You mean 10 being the worst or 1
10
being the worst?
10 being the worst.
It's a 4?
It's about a 4.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's dots are a lot easier, aren't they? I mean, if you like extensive work, like proper solid colour, or how would you rate? Because you've had some proper shading on like solid colour. How would you rate it in terms of?
Well, I mean, everybody is a little bit different because everyone's anatomy is different. We're all wired kind of differently too. So I think because of that, it has a little bit to do with it. I had a really, really hard time with the front of my neck. I would probably rate it more like a fucking 8 or 9. But I've also tattooed people where they're just chilling, kind of like how Paul is right now. And they're carrying on conversation, you know, little to no worries.
So, you know, my rib cage was an 11 out of 10. That was like fucking, excuse me, sorry, fricking terrible.
So would you say that a neck piece that hit the jaw, how does that even happen?
What is that?
Well, we're only going skin deep here, so we're not going all the way into the jugular. Luckily, Paul's not going to bleed out today.
No, hopefully not.
It might look like we're stabbing him in the neck, and it's going to break, you know, cut his head off, but that's not going to happen.
Is that right in the centre there?
Pretty much, yeah. Does it feel like it? Yeah. It's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, it feels like it's in the underneath of your tongue. that just went from a 4 to like a 6. Just that little section. It was like tattooing the underneath of my tongue.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, you look proper top of your Adam's apple right now.
Yeah, this is pretty much right on top of it. Yeah. So yeah, he's going to start feeling some things. Some emotions are going to come up. Now's a good time to get the truth out of Paul if you want to ask him something. You were never sure.
I wish his colleague was here then.
What's that?
Yeah, Lucas would enjoy this.
Yeah.
She said that hers shot blood for 3 feet.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
How was that tattoo done?
Sounds like she was getting killed.
Someone was doing it as a boy, right?
Yeah, was this
Stab you in the
tattoo
neck.
or machete? What the hell?
You might want to find a different tattoos.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. That sounds brutal as fuck, man. Or as freak. Man, they're gonna take the video down if we keep swearing.
Sorry.
Sorry guys, I'm sorry for swearing.
I'll just get like a beeper and just every time I know you're
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime it sounds like I might swear, just like put it on pause.
Maybe it's cool to know where your travels are going for both. For Paul and for you.
Oh yeah, okay. So like I said, right now I'm in the middle of travels. Badil and I are kind of like making our way around Europe a little bit. We were in the States for a while. We went pretty much across the country to California and back to Pennsylvania, which is where I'm from. Then we went back to the Netherlands, which is where she's from. And now we're here, which is in the UK. So then we go back to the Netherlands for a few days, back to the States, back to Europe, and then off to Nepal, and then back to the States again. And that'll probably be the stint of the travels. What do you have going on? You were just in Milan.
We're in North Carolina soon.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be in North
Scotty.
Carolina pretty soon with Scotty.
Cool, man.
Somebody said hi from Rainy Bromsgrove.
Yeah. Cool.
There's a few people saying they've never seen Paul.
Yeah. Literally 2 people have just said that. Never seen
Yeah,
Paul
literally 2 in a
at the
row.
same time.
2 in a row at the same
Oh
time.
my god.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
Yeah, right, yeah. So, next time you want Paul to not say so much, just tattoo him somewhere that he can't say so much. That's the answer.
We're out in North Carolina.
Wilmington.
Wilmington,
Yeah,
yeah.
Wilmington.
What's the tattoo show?
Ink and Arms.
Ink and Arms, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Scotty Whitaker's putting it on, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't know Scotty, he's a fucking... he's an institution. Don't take the video down, I'm sorry. He's an institution in the tattoo world. He's kind of a travel ride or die, you know. He's down for whatever, as long as they have meat and potatoes.
Yeah. Cheese and bread. Cheese and bread.
Yeah, as long as they have meat and potatoes and cheese and bread for him to eat.
Perfectly happy.
And 12 pack of Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah, some Red Bull, you're all set. Yeah, maybe some marbles. How you doing, man?
Whereabouts is it in North Carolina? You already said?
Wilmington, yeah, Wilmington, North Carolina. What are the dates for that? Does anybody know offhand?
In June.
It's in June, okay.
Someone asked, why would the tattoo burn when it itches? It's 2 years old.
That was the same girl that said her neck got like.
Why would a
pulled out of
tattoo
the-
burn?
After 2
Why
years.
would it burn and itch after 2 years? The same girl who apparently shot blood for 3 feet.
Oh, okay. Why would a tattoo burn and itch after 2 years?
It shouldn't.
Well, if that's the same artist that severed your jugular was tattooing you, I would imagine that's because that's not tattooing that's in your tattoo. There's probably some kind of car paint.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something you should probably...
Basically an allergic reaction.
Yeah, it could be an allergic reaction, which in all reality you probably can't do a whole lot about outside of getting the tattoo lasered. I don't know. I have some tattoos that I've heard that it can take up to 6 months for a tattoo to fully settle and heal. And now I don't mean heal as in like it's still going to give you problems and you have to be careful for 6 months, but like they say it takes about 6 months for it to like fully settle into your skin. And I guess I could see that. I've definitely had like some really itchy stages for upwards of a month and a half, 2 months.
Me too, usually with heavy colour, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
still itches a little bit, stuff like that for a couple months, but
Yeah. So I think 6 months is probably the point where you would consider it to be actually fully healed. 2 years, that's a long shot. I don't really know.
but she said it burns when it itches, not like itch and burn. So if she gets an itch, it scratches it. It burns.
Oh, okay.
Different eyes too.
So it could be something to do with the pigment. It could just be a sensitivity issue.
You could have scar tissue underneath the tattoo.
Yeah, there could be
that
scar
too.
tissue caused by getting the tattoo done, which causes the itchiness, which causes the burning sensation. I've heard pretty often too, especially with like, I hear a lot with the feet where somebody will have like a full color foot tattoo done, and they'll go out in the sun and do some damage. This is a fully healed tattoo. They'll go out in the sun and they'll get some sun exposure, and then maybe let's say they like go to the gym or something like that, and they start sweating. And what happens is it'll create these little kind of balls under the surface of your skin, so it looks like little bumps almost, And I've had enough people ask me about it, and I've had it happen to myself too, enough to do some research on it. The only thing I can really think of what happens is that when you damage your skin with sun exposure, it can't secrete sweat the same way anymore. So what happens is sweat just sits just under the surface of your skin, and basically it looks like kind of like little bumps. And if you were to scratch them open, it would probably be like a clear, like a sweat underneath. So maybe it's something like that's happening too. If you go to a tanning bed often, which is something where you're not only getting sun exposure, but you're also sweating. That's a possibility too.
Somebody reckons nerve damage can cause a burning sensation too. Maybe.
Nerve damage, it's possible. I'm not sure I've ever heard of anybody getting nerve damage from getting a tattoo, but if you already had nerve damage in a spot, and got tattooed over it, that's possible. Either way, that's unfortunate, man. I know the side of my head's still healing a little bit. So every once in a while it'll still itch sometimes. What?
Somebody said you're kind of cute for a tattoo artist.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not.
Yeah, I know. What's that supposed to mean?
For like a dirty, grimy tattooist.
yeah, right. For a fucking scumball.
Me on the other hand, I'm not cute at all. Thanks for completely ignoring me.
You better watch out, my girlfriend's in the room. She's gonna get the claws out. She's looking at your profile right now.
Yeah, right now.
You better watch it. But, thank you. Go on. I guess you just chop liver fall. That's bullshit. The fuck out of me.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Oh, God. Alright, man, so I'm coming up on some of the last little pieces up here, so just kind of bear with me. The worst is almost over. Are you still at that 4 to 6 mark?
4 and 6.
Yeah.
Someone asked what brand of tattoo machine you're using.
What brand of tattoo machine I'm using? Right now I'm using the Inkjecta. This is the Flight Nano or the Nano Flight. I'm not sure whatever order it's supposed to be in. I think my battery just died on
Oh, has your light gone out?
Yeah, I'm just going to switch my batteries quick. So this is the one problem with using the headlamp is your batteries die. But if you're smart, you get some rechargeables, and it's a pretty quick swap out.
Hi everyone. welcome to my portion of the show.
Yeah, right.
Finally, it's time.
Somebody said they like the beard on the model or something like that.
Beard on the model. You see, I got mistaken for a model, Brian.
Yeah. I'm just kind of cute.
Yeah, you're just kind of cute. I've got those kind of model good looks, you know.
Let's see how
That's
it is.
okay.
It's fine, guys. Don't worry about me.
Someone says hot.
Kathy says
Look at that. Yeah, man.
Yeah, see? Welcome to my part of the show. So it's only because I'm semi-naked. They wouldn't want me if I was clothed.
He's all
Like all models, I have to show them the goods.
Oh, man. That's great. So Paul's actually got a pretty great, what is it, a vlog?
Yeah, I've got a vlog on YouTube.
Paul's got an awesome vlog. If you're into that, definitely take some time and go over to his vlog page and
I'll
check it out.
be vlogging this in the next couple of days. So
Yeah.
it's youtube.com/Paul TLBT.
There you go.
On it. There you go.
Yeah.
It's a bit of fun.
Yeah, for you vloggers out there, if you like Paul's animated spirit while we're tattooing him, he's much more animated in his little personal vlog. So
There's a lot more talking in the vlog.
Jackie say, haha, let's see the goons.
Jackie, Hi, Jackie.
This is Jackie Craven, though.
Oh, not Rubino? Oh, okay. Well, still hi. You're just as important as any other Jackie. The other Jackie probably didn't even watch it. She's too absorbed.
This was high.
So yeah, again, if you're just joining us, I'm Brian Geckle. This is Paul Talbot. We're at Modern Electric Tattoo in Birmingham, England.
Jordan says, I'll pay £100 to see less goods, please.
What's up, Jordan? You got a really supportive fan base. Here in the UK, man.
Good, man.
Yeah, no worries.
Somebody said, well, my husband's name is Paul Talbot, we're in Ireland.
The guy getting tattooed has a lovely accent.
Birmingham accent?
That's the first time you hear that about Birmingham accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that tells me. Who said that?
It's fine.
Wendy Williams Archer.
Yeah, so Wendy,
Definitely not from the UK.
that tells us you're not from the UK. Believe it or not, this accent is the second worst you can have in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Do you reckon? Scouts?
Yeah.
Scouts probably the first one.
Liverpool.
I think they'd massively disagree.
So this is about as high up as we're going to go, so I apologize in advance. I know this isn't awesome.
Deb Bantus on there saying, are we going to see you stroll down the catwalk after your tat's done, Paul?
Maybe. No. We'll definitely post a picture of it.
Yeah, I think when we finish, we'll probably do a nice little pan of the final product, and like once again show you guys who we are, where we are, and all that stuff. So if you are interested in seeing more, you can keep up with us on our various social media platforms.
Once again, what does that tattoo mean?
So we keep getting back to the question of what does this tattoo mean? This is a style of tattooing that's pretty much just design based, which is an awesome thing. A lot of people think or feel like a tattoo should mean something to them. And I'm sure if Paul really put his mind to it, he could find a meaning for this particular image. But the beauty of it is that you don't have to. You know, you could get something just because you like the way it looks, and that's totally justifiable, and that is totally reason enough to want to get something and wear it on your skin. This particular pattern is derived from the flower of life, which is like a sacred geometric symbol. And if you really are interested, you can look that all up, and it's got its own little like world of meanings. But again, it doesn't have to mean anything really. It can just be something that looks cool, and you're just naturally drawn to the way that it looks, and that's fine.
We get the same question again. How's the pain level on the neck? Is it as bad as the stomach?
Anybody here have a stomach tattoo?
Brian?
As well as
Yeah, I got a stomach tattoo.
I had some writing, but
I didn't think the stomach was that bad, to be honest with you. Success! That's done.
all done.
Done up there.
top,
Cool.
top stuff.
We just got a little bit to do at the bottom.
Cool, man.
Should be quick and easy, man.
That's all. No, I think that obviously this is the only time I've had my neck done. I had a long time ago when I was a kid. I had a very small bit of writing around my belly button, just for fun. I don't remember that really hurting.
No.
But I certainly, I mean, this is entirely bearable. You know, there's a couple of spots that have licked me up a little bit. You know, the top of my Adam's apple was a little bit sore. But no, I mean, this is entirely bearable. You know, in fact, if anything, the area we're tattooing right now is a little more painful than the underneath the throat there.
Sternum.
This sternum area is there's really not a lot of meat under there, and particularly on somebody like me, you know, because I was built for speed, not for comfort, you know. So there's not a lot of meat there, and there's not a lot of cushioning. So I actually think that's a little more painful than that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as far as like considering like where it hurts a lot, it's good to consider like your nervous system. You know, like where your nervous system goes. You know, your nervous system is kind of designed to protect your vitals. You know, it's there so that whenever those areas are in danger of getting hurt, it's going to let you know really fast. So, you know, that's nature's kind of design. So anywhere that is over top of pretty much like a vital area, like for example your sternum, which kind of houses your heart and a few other various important organs, you know, you can expect to feel pretty lit up from it. But then again, everybody's nervous system is a little different, so everybody's going to handle it a little bit different. So we're coming up on the last leg here, guys. We've probably have a few minutes left. If you've been watching the whole time, thanks for watching. If you're just joining us, thanks for joining us.
So many people have been saying the longest I've ever heard Paul not talk. There's been loads now.
Most comments are like that.
That's it about Paul not talking. It's been a pretty quiet day. I'm sure that he has a lot of bound up energy that he's going to have to expel, so we're probably going to be sitting around his kitchen table later tonight and just hearing about all the ideas he's been going through all day.
Oh, I've invented so many things while I've been laying unable to speak.
Lucas said hurry up.
Did he?
Lucas is watching. Yeah.
He just ran home to get on his computer,